Good morning, all of you. I'm Srija. Today, we are going to discuss about cardiac cycle. So, before knowing about cardiac cycle, cardiac means heart, we also have to know about the parts that are present in the heart. So, here in the picture that we are seeing, we have the structure of a normal heart, normal general regular structure where we can easily see the points and we can easily see the parts also that have been labeled clearly here. Will be good, I think. So fine, coming to this is left atrium and the right atrium, left ventricle and right ventricle, as we know that. And also the right side of the heart, entirely the right side of the heart is carrying deoxygenated blood and left side of the heart is carrying oxygenated blood. And coming to this, as we know that this oxygenated blood that is present in the left side of the heart is pumped out from the heart through aorta, okay, through aorta. And here we find three branches that they'll be carrying one to the carotid artery, one will be the carotid artery carrying the blood to the brain, and the other one will be the pulmonary artery that is carrying the blood to the, what do we call it, lungs. And the same goes like this. And coming to this, the left atrium is getting blood from the lungs after getting oxygenated from the pulmonary through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium. Okay, this is about left side of the heart. Whereas coming to the right side of the heart, we can know that there is right atrium, which is again getting the deoxygenated blood from superior and inferior vena cava. This superior vena cava, whichever is there, that what is its function? The superior vena cava, which is there, that will take blood or collect blood, the deoxygenated blood that is used by the organs. Okay, the deoxygenated blood, it is collecting from the upper abdomen. Okay, upper abdomen of the body, it is collecting the blood and pouring it into the right atrium. Whereas coming to this inferior vena cava, it is collecting the blood, deoxygenated blood from the lower abdominal body. Okay, again, that so-called deoxygenated blood that is brought into the right atrium is again sent directly into the right ventricle, and from there the deoxygenated blood to get oxygenated, it is reaching to lungs. See here, you can see it clearly here. Okay, this and again, as we know that after reaching the lungs here, after reaching the lungs, it is getting oxygenated and the oxygenated blood is brought back through pulmonary veins from the lungs. See here, pulmonary veins. Okay, pulmonary veins, through pulmonary veins into the left atrium, and from the left atrium it is sent directly into the left ventricle, and from the left ventricle it is pumped out of of the body of the heart, sorry, or not of the body, it is pumped out of the heart through aorta to all the body parts including brain, lungs, even the carotid artery, coronary artery, it goes like that. Okay, so this is about the circulation and the normal structure of the heart, the parts of the heart. What are they dealing with? Apart from this parts, right atrium, left, apart from this chambers, we also have to know about the wall of the heart. Okay, so coming to the walls of the heart, see, I'll label it here. Let's take a different pen. Heart has two atria and two ventricles. Two atria and two ventricles, and these atria are separated by interatrial septum, and these ventricles are again separated by the same interventricular septum. Interventricular septum. Okay, so coming to this is the interventricular septum. As we already know that the walls of the ventricles will be quite thicker, a bit thicker than the walls of atria. Why? Because the ventricles has to pump blood throughout the body. Okay, now coming to this again, this atria and ventricles are again separated by atrioventricular septum like this. Okay, here atrioventricular septum will be present, and this atrioventricular septum, whichever is there, not here, like this, This atria and ventricles, this and this, like this. They are separated by atrioventricular septum. Again, this atrioventricular septum is guarded by atrioventricular septum has valve here. Okay. So you people can tell me easily what is this valve that is separating left atrium and left ventricle. It is called mitral valve. Okay. It is called mitral valve, or we call it bicuspid valve. Bicuspid valve. Whereas this right atrium and right ventricle are separated by what valves? Yes, exactly. Tricuspid valve. Okay, tricuspid valve. Clear till here? Now, coming to this, we have got a brief idea about what are the parts of heart that are present, right? Yes, good. Now, coming to this, how is heart beating? If we clearly have to study about, see, if we clearly have to study about cardiac cycle, what is a cardiac cycle actually? I'll tell you a brief about it, and we will also study about what are the parts that, I mean, what are the parts that are involved in this cycle. Okay. First, if we have to know about this atrial systole thing and diastole thing, simple. Systole means it is a contraction of the heart, contraction of a muscle, heart especially. Diastole means relaxation. How is it happening? We'll discuss now. So, for a heart muscle to contract and relax, which means for a one beat of heart has to happen, we need some special tissue, right? Exactly. We have nodal tissue here. Okay. We have nodal tissue. What is this nodal tissue? This is again, this point you might be getting in the exams. Nodal tissue is not a neural tissue, it is not neurons or anything, it is a modified cardiac tissue. Please do remember that. You might be getting this question. It is modified cardiac tissue, cardiac muscle itself. That is why we call heart a myogenic heart, not a neurogenic heart. Why? Because the cardiac muscle itself is making its own heartbeat. Through what? A modified tissue. The cardiac muscle has been modified to generate some impulse. Cardiac cycle. What is this cardiac cycle? Cardiac cycle defines as time taken by heart to complete one beat. Yes, that is cardiac cycle. So if we are talking about this, let's divide the entire time taken by one heartbeat, which is zero point 0.8 seconds, zero point 0.8 seconds. One heartbeat takes an average of zero point 0.8 seconds. So we'll divide the zero point 0.8 seconds based on the function that is happening, based on the changes that are happening in the heart. So atrial systole takes zero point 0.1 second of atrial systole, and ventricular systole takes zero point 0.3 seconds. Okay. Whereas coming to this, ventricular diastole takes zero point 0.4 seconds. So what does this atrial systole, ventricular systole and ventricular diastole? So coming back to the cardiac cycle, here atrial systole means atrial depolarization, atrial depolarization. And ventricular systole means ventricular depolarization, and the same goes with ventricular diastole means ventricular repolarization. Ventricular repolarization. Here we'll mention about ventricular depolarization. Okay. So coming to this, if you remember the concept of muscle contraction, there we'll get to know that depolarization means the muscular membrane, whichever is there, that is undergoing contraction. Okay, so here also atrial depolarization means atria is getting contracted. So this atrial depolarization is taking only 0.1 second. Okay, so coming to ventricular systole. Ventricular systole means ventricles, the entire both right and left ventricles are contracting, and this contraction of left ventricle is taking 0.3 seconds. Okay, so during this 0.3 seconds, what happens? The entire blood that is present in the ventricles is entering into what? Very good. Pulmonary arteries and aorta. Very good. Because they can't go back into the atria because cuspid valves have been closed. Yes. Now, after this, after ventricular systole, ventricles have been contracted, they will undergo relaxation. Here, the ventricular diastole happens. And you have to remember that ventricular diastole is taking zero point 0.4 seconds. In that, if at all, there is a question that is asking you what is the time taken by the heart, or what is the time where the entire heart muscle is completely under relaxed condition per beat. If he's asking you per beat, or in the cardiac cycle, if he's mentioning, you can go with zero point 0.2 seconds, where ventricles are under diastole, ventricles are relaxed here, and also atria are relaxed. Okay, you are getting it now. So this is about cardiac cycle, and he might ask you very easy questions, but it might be quite tricky where he's changing the question pattern, where he's changing the terms in the question. If he's asking you the normal question, which I generally ask to whoever student I find. So if a person heart heartbeat is 100 times per minute. Okay. Now find time taken by cardiac cycle. Time taken in cardiac cycle, or per cardiac cycle. This is a simple question. Cardiac cycle means he's talking about one beat. Okay, he's talking about one beat. So how will you find? If per minute, which means 60 seconds, heart is beating 100 times, one time, how many? How many seconds? X seconds. Cross multiply. This is easy problem, quite easy problem. Okay. So it is like 60 by 100. What will be we be getting? What is that? Zero point 0.6 seconds. It is taking 0.6 seconds. Yes, this is easy. So here I'll tell you one more information about this, where we can find out this stroke volume and the cardiac output also, where we can define it as what? The amount of blood that is pumped out by the heart per minute is cardiac output. Whereas stroke volume, the amount of blood that is pumped out by the heart per beat. Please be careful with these terms. Okay, so this is about the cardiac cycle, stroke volume, cardiac output. And in this lesson, we have also discussed about what are the parts of the heart, how is this blood circulation is happening, okay, what are the valves that are present, and what is a nodal tissue. We have learned about the nodal tissue also in brief. If you have understood the topics that we have discussed today, please do like my video, share my video with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel.